Hello everyone, welcome back. We are the Reading Raptors of Shantiniketan Indian School. And I am Nazia Tahseen, back again with another story. And today's story is A Merchant and His Donkey. So let's get started. The story for this session is A Merchant and His Donkey. Before we get into the reading and understanding of the story, let's look at the new words that we would come across in the story and get their correct pronunciation. Now let's look at these words and get their correct pronunciation. And the first word is unfortunately. Unfortunately. Number 2, scramble. Scramble. Number 3, notice. Notice. Number 4, deliberately. Deliberately. Number 5, discovered. Discovered. Number 6, merchant. Merchant. Number 7, accept. Accept. Number 8, clever. Clever. Number 9, trick. Trick. And the last word is slippery. Slippery. Now let's read the story. One beautiful spring morning, a merchant loaded his donkey with bags of salt to go to the market in order to sell the salt. The merchant and his donkey were walking along together. They had not walked far when they reached a river on the way. Unfortunately, the donkey slipped and fell into the river. As it scrambled up the bank of the river, it noticed that the bags of salt loaded on his back had become lighter. There was nothing the merchant could do except return home. The next day, the merchant again loaded his donkey with bags of salt. As they reached the slippery river bank again, the donkey fell into the river, this time deliberately. Thus, the salt was wasted again. By now, the merchant knew the donkey's trick. He wanted to teach the animal a lesson. As he returned home the second time with the donkey, the merchant loaded bags of sponge on its back. Both set out on their trip to the market a third time. On reaching the river, the donkey very cleverly fell into the water again. But now, instead of the load becoming lighter, it became heavier. The merchant laughed at the donkey and said, "You foolish donkey, your trick has been discovered. You should know that you cannot fool anyone too many times." Now let's read these new words once again. Number 1, unfortunately. Number 2, scramble. Number 3, notice. Number 4, deliberately. Number 5, discovered. Number 6, merchant. Number 7, accept. Number 8, clever. Number 9, trick. And number 10, slippery. Time to understand the meanings of the words through word investigation. So the first word is unfortunately. Unfortunately means used to say that something is sad, disappointing, or has a bad effect. Scramble. Scramble means to move or climb quickly but with difficulty, often using your hands to help you. Notice, to see or become conscious of something or someone. Deliberately, intended or planned. Discovered, to find information, a place or an object, especially for the first time. Since we know the meanings of the word, finding synonyms of the word will be an easier task for us. So let's look at the words and get through the synonyms of those words. So the first word is unfortunately. Synonym of unfortunately can be unsuccessfully or sadly. Number 2, notice. Synonym of notice can be attention or note. Number 3, scramble. Number 4, deliberately. And number 5, discovered are the few words that you have to find the synonyms for. Now let's move to the next segment of today's session, that is antonyms. As we all know, antonyms means opposites. So let's look at the word and find their antonyms. The first word is unfortunately. Unfortunately, antonyms can be fortunately, favorably. Number 2, notice. Notice antonyms can be ignorance, negligence. Number 3, scramble. Number 4, deliberately. And number 5, discovered are the few words that you have to find antonyms for. Now let's create sentences. Remember, when you are creating a sentence, your sentence should be meaningful. So the first word here is unfortunately. Unfortunately, I didn't have my credit card with me, or else I would have bought it. Number 2, scramble. She scrambled up the steep hillside and over the rocks. Number 3, notice. Sentence with notice can be Shyla waved at the man, but he didn't seem to notice. Number 4, deliberately, and number 5, discovered are the words that you need to create sentences for. Remember, your sentence should be meaningful and should convey complete message to the reader. Comprehending is the last step of this session. Comprehending means understanding of the content. It is very important that when you answer a question, your answers should always be in past tense. You may or may not begin your answer from the question. Let's look at the question here. What happened when the merchant and the donkey reached to the river? Now I have written my answer beginning from the question. When the merchant and the donkey reached the river, the donkey slipped and fell down into the river. Assignment time. There are two questions given for you to which you have to write the answers in your own words. Let's look at the question number 2. What did the donkey do deliberately? And question number 3. How did the merchant teach donkey a lesson? Give reason to support your answer. Remember, your answer should be in the past tense. You may or may not begin your answer from the question.